Hello, viewers, and welcome to today's edition of the newspaper review here on TAP TV. It's the 20th day of June 2023, and I'm saying a big thank you to you for joining us from wherever it is you're watching from. It's been a very rainy period right here in Nigeria, and of course, I don't know if that's the way it is in every other part of the world, but over here in this part of the world, it's been raining. I don't know, Kosi, how have you been coping with the rain this period? This period.
It's been very difficult.
Mm.
Though I don't really like rainy season. I don't like it because everywhere is stinking and the
Dirty.
whole dirty and the whole place is just so dirty.
But some persons say they like it because it makes the weather cool, and Nigeria naturally is a hot place. So
Nigeria is a hot place, but to me, I just don't like it because it comes with a lot of sickness. You understand?
Really?
Cough, catarrh, a whole lot of things. So I don't really like it. And
I was
it's always cold.
I was expecting quite a different answer from you, given the fact that you are a fair complexion person. Yes, because fair people, they usually like to stay on under cool temperature. And
There's a difference between being cool. Like if it's cool, I like it, but raining, I don't like it because just imagine you waking up and you're very tired. Imagine you're waking up, you're tired. Instead of going to work, you have to start gallivanting the whole house, and you have to wait for the rain to stop for you to be able to go out.
Okay.
Because I don't like the rain. I just don't like it.
All right. So Kosi is saying she doesn't like the rain. Personally, I like the rain, but I feel like it's too much at some point.
Weather for two.
I feel no, it's no.
Are you for real?
No, that's not what I mean.
Are you sure?
That's not what I mean.
Because once it's raining, people will be like, weather for two.
That's not what I mean. Must always see the problem in Nigeria.
That's Nigeria.
Must see the weather for two. God. So thank you once again. My name is Cyril Aloysius, and I'm the one bringing you the newspaper headlines for today. And to start the edition for today, we'll be looking first at the Vanguard newspaper, where we have some interesting headlines. A lot has been going on in the political scene, so I would say sit back and relax as I bring you the headlines. So I'll be starting first by looking at this one here on page 5 in the Vanguard. It talks about Tinubu sacks service chiefs, dissolves boards of MDAs. Tinubu sacks service chiefs, dissolves boards of MDAs. Okay, details of this headline is on page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper, and on page 8, this one says Airtel flags off 5G services, pledges universality for subscribers. Airtel flags off 5G service, pledges universality for subscribers. That story is on page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper. On page 8, still on page 8, we have NNPC committed to FG's 2060 net zero plans. Kyari tells US. NNPC committed to FG's 2060 net zero plans. Kyari tells US. That's on page 8 of the Vanguard. And over now to the world of sports on page 31. This one here says President Ware hails Osimhen's marksmanship. President Ware hails Osimhen's marksmanship. Okay, that story is on page 31. And over now to page 12 for further headlines. This one says Nigeria spends over $500 million on importation of dairy products yearly, according to Obaseki on page 12. Nigeria spends over $500 million on importation of dairy products yearly, according to Obaseki on page 12 of the Vanguard. And on page 13 now, this one says Kebbi government moves to reopen FGC 2 years after bandits attack. Kebbi government moves to reopen FGC 2 years after bandits attack. That's on page 13 of the Vanguard. And over now to page 11. This one says NGE president. NGE president Akpabio, Abdulrazak, Radar, NPAN congratulate Eze and Naba. Okay, that's on page 11 of the Vanguard newspaper. On page 21 now, we have presidential poll. Presidential poll. No technical glitch on February 25th. Amazon tells court. Presidential poll. No technical glitch on February 25th. Amazon tells courts, that's on page 27. And on still on page 27, we have subsidy. Subsidy. Labor. Government set 8 weeks deadline to conclude dialogue. Subsidy. Labor. Federal government set 8 weeks deadline to conclude dialogue. That's on page 27. And lastly, in the Vanguard, we have on page 19. This one says, Naira depreciates to 770 Naira 38 kobo per dollar as demand pressure hits I and E. Naira depreciates to 770 Naira 38 kobo per dollar as demand pressure hits I and E. That's on page 19 of the Vanguard newspaper. Momodokosi, please let me get your thoughts on the story here on page 27. It talks about the presidential poll. They say no technical glitch on February 25th. Amazon is telling the court. So what do you make of this headline, Kosi?
Well, I normally tell you that in all you're getting, make sure you get far. It was very, very clear that during the 25th presidential election that it was rigged. A lot of violence, a lot of atrocity was committed during that time. You see that during those times, that even in a polling unit, you see how they even marginalize some people. They say if you are not voting for a particular person,
please leave, go home.
Please leave, go home. You know that a lot of things were done during that time. And if you look at it, you see that whether there was a glitch or not, a lot of things were even done with the beavers. Yeah, the Amazon people, they came, they testified. Anybody can just come. It's not as if they even presented evidence. They just said the eyewitness that came said that yeah, that she's a member of Amazon. She's a team. She's working there. She presented her CV and all that, but it doesn't still make sense because you should have just presented everything. Give us the evidence. Give us the evidence that there was nothing like glitch there. You understand? You just presented that, yeah, you're a member of Amazon, but that doesn't still justify that there was glitch. There was no glitch there. That doesn't justify it. And if you look at it, you see that the petitioners, they are angry. Obi, according to him, said that they've been going through hell for them to obtain some of the INEC electoral materials.
Yes.
Which is wrong. The court has given order. Provide all available materials to the petitioners. Provide it to them. As long as they're able to prove beyond reasonable doubt that the election was rigged. Okay. That's the only way they can.
So why do you feel there's a reluctance from INEC to provide this?
They're trying to. I just feel that they are trying to strain this thing. They are trying to make them go through hell for them to just finally give up. Imagine the other day, Atiku was saying that he had to pay 6.something million just for him to obtain something
to access some material.
Exactly, which is wrong. And even though he paid it,
and he still
didn't get
access
which
to
is wrong. Do you know that's why when it comes to civilized country, I used to tell people, Nigerians, we are not civilized. You know, for us to even be a little civilized, it's going to take the grace of God. The courts in outside all these civilized countries, the courts, they have the maximum state, they have the highest power. Once they say do this, you have to obey.
So are you saying?
Well, in Nigeria,
so are you saying our judiciary?
Our judiciary, they are way dependent. They are way more
as powerful as they should be.
Exactly. That's why they have been protesting and trying to fight. They are way more dependent on the executives. It's not right. Once the court has given order, they say the law. Nobody is above the law. That's the rule of law. Nobody is above the law. The law is above everybody. That's the rule of law. So they should obey it. The court already said, provide all these electoral materials so that they'll be able to access it.
So,
but the reverse is the case here.
Okay.
And even they brought someone from Amazon to testify. It's very clear that these people, they are trying to manipulate the court.
Okay.
They are trying to manipulate the court in terms of if they had provided electoral materials to the petitioners, they will be able to prove beyond reasonable doubt that it was actually rigged and some of the the beavers machine, it has issues. Even some of the NX weaknesses, they came out. The people that used it, they said that it got to a point that it wasn't loading. The thing wasn't entering, so they had to use the manual system.
Okay.
But now them coming out to say that the Amazon people coming out that there was no glitch. I feel they are trying to make people believe that their service is actually authentic. Like,
Okay.
because for them to, if they're able,
So you
if
feel they are
feel
trying
that
to.
promote their own business.
Okay.
Because people will be like, they are not reliable. They are not reliable at all, which is wrong. So them, I feel on their own part, them
So you're
also
saying
coming out.
this word from them should not be taken seriously?
Exactly. It shouldn't, because nobody can just come out and say that he or she is not selling something that is good. This marketing is all about marketing. It's strategy. So I feel whatever the Amazon people said, they are wrong. They are trying to clear their name too.
All right. Just before I draw the curtain on this particular headline and then move over to the next paper, I want to know, what do you think this and all that has been happening so far as regards the petition against President Bola Ahmed Tinubu becoming the president of Nigeria, what do you think all of this poses to his reign as the president of this particular country? Because, it's not been easy, going about the court cases and getting the materials.
Trying to prolong the matter.
Okay.
They are trying, because they continue to do all these proceedings. They'll say, okay, the court is adjourned next week.
Do you feel like our constitution to a certain level needs to be amended? Because personally, I don't see any sense in allowing or going ahead to inaugurate a person who has question marks all over their personality on the road to becoming president.
That's why I always thought.
But according to the constitution, such a person can still go ahead to become the president, and then while the case is in court, the person is leading the country.
It's not really,
so how is it possible?
It's not going to be easy to amend the
constitution.
1999 constitution. It's not going to be easy.
It's not like it's not easy. It's a matter of.
Not, because it's a matter of. It will not favor a lot of people.
Exactly.
It will not favor a lot of people. Our country is characterized with corruption. That it has eaten deep into our lineage. That no matter what, it can't just be removed. Just like that. It's not possible, because a lot of all these people that are in power, they know that once they amend it, it will be against them.
No more easy routes to power.
That means let me say that if they are going to amend it, because they said as long as if you commit a crime and after 10 years you want to become the president of Nigeria, it will be automatically removed.
Okay.
Like, no matter, as long as it's more than 10 years,
okay,
it's okay. You understand? But if you look at it, you still see that it's wrong. As long as you have a bad image, whether being a drug dealer, drug baron, whatever.
Because the person cannot become exactly.
No matter, because to them they will be like, the person might have changed then and all that. Nothing like changing. Old habit doesn't die.
If you have it in mind to one day become the president of a country,
just desist.
Then you should desist from
walk upright.
Exactly.
That's it.
All right, thank you so much once again, Kosi, for your thoughts. I think it's time for us to move straight now to the next paper for the day, which is the Nigerian News Direct. And we have some interesting headlines here. The boldest headline in the Nigerian News Direct here is on page 4, and it says, Security overhaul. Tinubu sacks service chiefs, IG, Customs, DG, and others. That's on page 4. Okay, get all the details of this on page 4 of the Nigerian News Direct. And this one here on page 13 says, subsidy. Government, Labour resumes talk. Set up a technical committee. Subsidy, government, Labour resume talks. Set up a technical committee. That's on page 13. And over now to page 2. This one says, Airtel partners Samsung to accelerate 5G adoption in Nigeria. Airtel partners Samsung to accelerate 5G adoption in Nigeria. That's on page 2 of the Nigerian News Direct. And lastly on page 2 again, we have Fight against corruption. Fight against corruption. ICPC trains journalists. Calls for collaborative efforts. Fight against corruption. ICPC trains journalists. Calls for collaborative efforts. Okay, that's on page 2. You want more details on the headlines that you heard, get a copy of the papers for yourself. And not to forget, if you have any questions to ask and contributions to make, do well to drop them in the comment section of this post, and I promise you we will reply them and get back to you. So over now to Obodo Kosi once again. Kosi, please, I'd like to get your thoughts on yes, I think we also saw this in the first paper. I ignored it, but I cannot ignore it again. It's concerning Tinubu sacking the service chiefs. How do you react to this, please?
It's normal.
Ever since he came into power, it's been from one boss to the other.
Exactly. New power, new government.
Okay.
You don't expect him to retain the past government. It's not possible. Even during the outgoing speech of the former president, that's President Buhari, he said it. He said that he knows that a lot of people won't be able to be reappointed in the next government, including himself. So it's as if he knew. It's just normal.
The government didn't perform, so...
No, it's not about it. You entering the government, you come with your own people. The people you know you want to work with.
But that is not always the case. I feel like it's a matter of choice on the side of the president to say, okay, I feel like this person did well during his time.
In Nigeria, there's nothing like you did well or not.
And I feel like
in Nigeria, what
I can let him continue in that role.
No. In Nigeria, what they have is my own people.
Loyalists.
Exactly, loyalists.
Okay.
The people that I want, my own people, the people that will protect my image. You know, now President Bola Tinubu has a lot of image to protect. He has a lot of stains on him. So he needs people that won't cast him out. So
do you feel like all these appointments of his people in different offices, do you feel like they are deliberate attempts to ensure that he cements his place as the president of the country for good, whether or not Obi succeeded in the court case or not? Because I don't know. There are people saying things that, oh, all this is firing and hiring are one of the signs to show that, okay,
so
he's taking conscious steps to solidify his place as the president.
Exactly. That's what I said when you asked me. The first thing I said, power, new government. He brought his people, the people that will protect him, protect his image, which I said he has a lot of images to protect.
A lot, you say?
A lot. A whole lot.
A lot, you say?
Exactly. He has a lot. Because, you know...
Do you really want us to go down that route?
No,
a lot of image to protect?
He has. He has a lot of image to protect. And he has a lot...
Someone that has a lot of image to protect, and he has a drug case abroad?
That's the image.
Where's the image?
That's the image. He has a lot of image to protect.
Personally, I feel he has little image to protect right now. Not a lot.
No, a lot of, when I mean a lot of image, when I'm in this aspect, I meant that he has a lot of, because of the case around him, because of the accusation around him.
Okay.
You understand? He has a lot of things to protect.
So he needs to build his defensive wall.
That's strategy.
Okay.
Even Zozu said you need to have your own
people
around you that before they get to you, they'll first go through those people.
Okay.
You understand? So him building is like building his allies. That's the right of it. He built his allies around him so that he'll be able to, so that no matter what happened, he won't be able to remove easily from power. Even if God said, Bola Tinubu, you've reviewed the case and you are found guilty of doing this, blah blah blah. No matter what happened, quote me anywhere, Tinubu is not living. It's not possible. It's not like, that's what I'm saying. I know it's going to be.
You never can tell.
I know. Do you know if Bola Tinubu should leave the office, or like if he's found guilty and if he should leave for bail or article to enter, that means we are good. Nigeria is civilized.
Okay.
Do you know, when I tell you, in Nigeria, in all you're getting, get power. The system favors the bourgeoisie.
Exactly.
You understand? It favors them that with money you can do anything. I'm sorry that I'm saying this thing in public, but that's just the real truth. That's the fact.
Over time, we have seen that.
Over
We've
time,
seen it.
a lot of things, a lot of cases that you know that clearly this thing, like this ongoing cases about this CBN governor MFLA. You see the way they manipulate everything, and you still favor him, and he will still come out with his head high.
Okay.
You see that the case, no matter all the accusation, the money they found in his house and all that, you see that no matter what happened, he will still come out. Nothing will happen. He will be running, he will be moving around like a free man, which is wrong. Nigerians, we need to do better. We really need to do better. Our government need to do better because you don't expect people maybe after doing a particular maybe free, let me say maybe if they eventually free MFLA, you don't expect people tomorrow for them to be upright. You should do something to act as a deterrent to people to know that stay clear. If you do anything or maybe do money laundry, if you take money, you are going to jail.
Okay.
It's to serve as a deterrent. But you see, Nigerians, I don't know. I'm tired of my country.
All right. Just before I draw the curtain on this headline too, I feel like, in as much as I feel like the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, could actually have continued with the service chiefs, but
it's not possible. Even
but I also feel like Nigeria, to a certain level, needs a breath of fresh air. We need a breath of fresh air in almost every sector. We need new minds, new creativity, new energy in every aspect of the country right now. We are tired of the old way of doing things. We need new pattern of doing things, new ways, new ideas. So I feel I think I have to congratulate the president on this particular move. It's a great move all the way. All right, so let's go on a break right now, and when we return, we'll take our last paper for the day and we'll call it a day. Please stay tuned.
Hey there, are you looking to record your videos, do your voiceovers, and take your professional pictures? Look no further. With our state-of-the-art newsroom, photography, kitchen for our food content creators, and exclusive children's studio, we certainly can deliver the best studio experience. Our carefully designed studio space can bring your diverse creative content ideas to life. We aim to consistently serve value to our customers far and wide. Come, let Tharv Media give life to your dreams. Tharv Media, a slice of infotainment.
Yes, you're welcome back from that short break, and still on the newspaper review for today. We shall be looking at our last paper for today, which is the Guardian newspaper. And we have interesting headlines. This one here says on page 6, federal government, Labour fix 8 weeks for conclusion of subsidy removal talks. Federal government, Labour fix 8 weeks for conclusion of subsidy removal talks. Okay, that story is on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. And on page 8 now, this one says, road diversion, motorists, commuters, the cry on ending sufferings on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Road diversions, motorists, commuters, the cry on ending sufferings on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. That's on page 8 of the Guardian newspaper. And on page 3 now, we have ethno-religious regional sentiments as Senate seeks principal officers. Ethno-religious regional sentiments as Senate seeks principal officers. Okay, details of that headline is on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. This one here on page 15 says, Eric Air, shareholders trade accusations over 120 billion naira alleged fraud. Full details of this headline is on page 15 of the Guardian. I go again. Eric Air, shareholders trade accusations over 120 billion naira alleged fraud. All right, that's on page 15. On page 3 now, again, we have PEPC. Tinubu APC fail to stop APM's petition. INEC staff recount Beaver's failure. PEPC, Tinubu APC failed to stop APM's petition. INEC staff recount Beaver's failure. That's page 3 as well. And still on page 3, this one says Tinubu pledges to prioritize Nigerians' well-being. Partners Dangote, Bill Gates. Tinubu pledges to prioritize Nigerians' well-being. Partners Dangote and Bill Gates. That story is on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. And lastly, here on the Guardian, we have applause as Tinubu Fire Service Chiefs dissolves board of agencies. Okay, I think we already spoke about this before in the previous paper. Wobodokosi, just before I draw the curtain on today's episode of the newspaper review, I would like to get your thoughts on this particular headline here on page 6 of the Guardian. It says federal government Labour fixed 8 weeks for conclusion of subsidy removal talks. It's concerning subsidy. How do you react to this?
8 weeks, Ahwa. If by the next, that's 8 weeks should be for 2 months, right?
Yep.
So if by the next 2 months they're able to resolve it, I'll be happy. Because this first subsidy removal, it has been a pain in the neck on many Nigerians. A lot of people are suffering. We've been suffering, but it's as if
But there are
now,
advantages to it. Don't you think so?
Yeah, there are. Because you say, no pain, no gain. But if you look at it, some measures supposed to be put in place to cushion the effects. You understand? Because it's just like rainy season is coming in your shop and you're trying to, instead of you don't have, maybe you're someone that is selling all this petty something outside, and you know that rainy season is coming, and maybe you don't have something like roof over
like
your
canopy.
head. You understand? No, not just roof over your head, and you know definitely that rainy season is coming. You can't be selling under the rain. It's not possible. The right thing to do is to put some measures in place that even if rain is falling, you'll be able to have a roof under your head, and your goods.
It's all about planning, right? The planning
Exactly.
wasn't done properly.
That's what I'm trying to say. When it comes to that's a very good thing for them to remove it, because you pay through our nose just for us to
Subsidize
be able to
these petroleum products.
exactly reduce the amount of the price of fuel and all that. But if you look at it, this should have put some measures in place for us to be able to, that even though they remove it, we won't feel the pain as you're feeling it now. It's just not that why didn't they do all these things before finally agreeing to remove it? You understand? The Labour Congress, they want their minimum distance wage to be increased from 30 to 150 or 200, which is not possible. They've not kind of taken care of that matter. Now they are trying to have talk over the subsidy and all that. To me, I feel if government want to reduce our pain, if they want to cushion the effect of this subsidy removal, they should look into our refineries. That's the major thing. Many people are saying Dangote refinery, blah blah blah. He's using it to make his own money. And also, Labour Party asking for their minimum amount to be increased is wrong. It's not that it's wrong, but for them to ask for it to be increased to 150, 200, I feel it's not possible. You know why? Because if it's increased, that means inflation will happen.
It's not like it's not good, but it's not possible, right?
It's not good. For them to imagine increasing it from 30 to 150 or 200, that means you have surplus money. People will have money. Everything will increase.
Okay.
That's it. The price of things will increase times even the actual price, because we have inflation.
Okay.
Naira will be useless. We say that it's useless, it doesn't have value, but right now, if they eventually do it, Naira won't have value again. You will have money, but you won't see what you buy with it.
Okay.
You understand? So I feel if the government wants to cushion the effect of this subsidy removal, they should first of all look into our refineries they should take care of it. Once they take care of it, at least we'll start producing in our own country. The only thing is, another problem we have is importation. We will have to be importing some materials because a lot of materials we don't have,
Okay.
which will be another money.
And it's not like we can't make those materials here.
I don't know if we can make it, but for now, because even this Dangote, this thing, they are, imagine we still have Dangote refinery, but they are still importing some products for it. And they have to add it to the price of fuel in order to make their own gains.
Okay.
So I feel that even if we are to, even if they should also, if they should look into our refineries that we have, they should fasten it up, put it in good working condition. Then, in terms of importation of the products, they should, if we're able to make it here, they should look into it. After, if they start producing it here, they're also reducing the unemployment rate.
Okay.
So that's my own thought.
All right. Thank you so much, Kosi Wombodo, for your thoughts and contributions on the program today. I want to say a big thank you because, I mean, you coming was everything to us. And of course, to you, my wonderful viewers who have been faithful to your screen up until this time, thank you to you also. You are the real VIPs because without you, this program wouldn't be possible. Cyril Aloysius is my name once again. And I want to say that if you're yet to subscribe to this channel, please, you're making a big mistake. Click on the subscribe button, please. Okay, and of course, do well to follow us on our different social media platforms. You could check us out on Instagram. We are ThavTV_NG on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, and of course, on TikTok, we're ThavTV. So until we come your way again next time, do enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now, and thanks for watching.